Hello, and welcome back to another cult horror movie review. In the saga of sequels to classic movies that also turn out to be classics, we can't turn our heads away from Evil Dead 2, the follow-up to the first Evil Dead, a low-budget horror splatter film that I really enjoyed personally. This sequel is very deserving of its cult classic status. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you'd like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to never miss out on another bad movie review every Friday and cult horror movie review every Tuesday. This is where we get the Ash Williams that most people know, the badass Ash with a chainsaw at the place of one hand and a shotgun in the other. This is where Bruce Campbell gives a better performance than the first movie. Ash has got more flavor, more character, he has more life, and he's much more expressive. The story is not that complicated. It picks off where the first film ended. Ash is the only survivor in the cabin, and so he's got to face off the demons that keep taunting him and are trying to possess his soul. The screenplay adopts a different tone than before. There's a lot of slapstick comedy in this, which can be pretty amusing and funny. We get to know more about the origins of the Necronomicon, how it was found when it was first used. The archaeologist that we only heard in a recording during the first film makes his appearance in the second movie, and his daughter as well. I think we can all agree that it's not something you watch for the brains, but just because it's pretty fun. It's not a complex film, I've said this, and it still captures that campy, low-budget aesthetic that we saw during the previous entry. And if you take out those scenes where blood is just pouring out in just ridiculously large amounts, I found it to not have as much gore as the first Evil Dead. That surprised me. The special effects are a mix of makeup and stop-motion animation. Even though it can look pretty ropey, it still gives it a low-budget charm. It seems that a lot of fans consider it to be the better film. I think it depends on how you look at things. The first was a great exercise in guts and gore flying everywhere and brought lots of campy terror, but this almost seems to be like a comedic reimagining, and it has its perks. Once again, the camera work is also really good. The one that struck me the most is at the beginning, when the deity is chasing Ash around in the cabin. The whole production must have taken a lot of work. So on a final note, would I recommend Evil Dead 2? Yes, I really would. It's a funny horror good time. It's recommended.
Bye.